Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. This will be the last one that you'll see a lot of my face for the time being. Wanted to do a bit more of a behind the scenes this week. So we had the story of the Goodwill purchase that I made for two older prototype headsets. A little bit of background on what I use to make my videos currently when I'm using the Quest 2. And today I'm going to ask a question and hopefully answer it. What if there was one small device that fits in the palm of your hand that you could use to make a lot of your VR experiences much more immersive? And of course I have an answer to that question, and it's right here. This is the DecaMove. And the DecaMove absolutely fits right in the palm of my hand, but it's intended actually to clip onto my waist at the hip. So the DecaMove is actually a device that does directional positioning as you're moving in virtual reality experiences. There's multiple ways you can do that. You can take a controller, and if you have it set to the controller direction, turning the controller turns what direction your character moves in. Or you can take your headset, and if you have your headset and turn it, as you're turning your head inside the headset, because you're not going to be holding the headset obviously, that's the direction that your character will move in. What the DecaMove device does is it takes your hips position, and it takes that information and it adds an overlay to your SteamVR so that whatever direction this is facing, if you have it on your right hip or have it on your left hip or have it in the center or have it on your back, it actually recognizes that and it centers in the application and calibrates. And as you turn your body position, it actually allows you to do things like take your controller in one hand, take your controller in the other hand, shoot in both directions, and look in a third. You can play John Wick. You can actually go out there, move backward. I mean, you can move in whatever direction your body is facing. And it's fantastic, and it has absolutely added more immersion to my experiences. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a little bit about how to set up the DecaMove. It's very simple. It comes with a small little USB receiver. They have the Deca logo on both devices here, so you can see it right here. And you plug that in, and then you boot up Deca Hub. Deca Hub is a piece of software that does two things. It allows you to do firmware updates and synchronize and calibrate this device, but it also allows you to launch your SteamVR games directly from it. You do not need to use Deca Hub, from what I understand. Once you've got the DecaMove up and calibrated, you can actually just launch your games, and the Deca overlay will continue to work, and the DecaMove will continue to work as long as they're using the SteamVR API. If you're using the Oculus API or some other third-party API, it's not guaranteed to work at the current time. Now, of course, the other thing you're going to need is a game that actually does head-based directional movement or controller-based directional movement. What they recommend is if it's a game that supports both, that you set it to right hand as the favored hand and head-based movement, and then the DecaMove will work just fine. So this is the Deca Hub software. Right now I've got it on the devices screen, and you'll notice there are two devices showing on the screen. One is the DecaMove, which I have directly in front of me, which I'm going to be showing you in just a moment, and the other is the Deca Gear 1. The company behind Deca is working on a headset that does some awesome things. So it will not only work with this little hip positional tracker, but will also have eye tracking and facial tracking. It'll have that capacitive sensing on the controllers, and it comes in at a little under $500 with the option of also having the Deca Air module added to it, which will allow it to actually work wirelessly. Now, all of that sounds a little far-fetched, of course. This is a new company with new products. The first product that they've shipped are these little review units of the DecaMove, But I have a lot of faith in Deca, and I think they're going to come out with something very awesome, especially after using this device. Because while this device is somewhat simplistic, it's a very small little tracker. People have compared it to a pedometer, and in some ways that's really about how it feels in your hand. It feels that lightness of a pedometer. It works kind of in the same manner where it's, you know, counting things as it moves and rotates. But it is not as simple as a pedometer, and you can't hook up a pedometer with a piece of software, have it interface with SteamVR, and work. What the Deca team has done is they've made it simple. First of all, I don't know if you could hear that, but there's a nice haptic feel and vibration to this device as it moves. And as I turn it around, you can see it's tracking the position of it as it goes. So already you can see that almost like a compass as I rotate the DecaMove around. It's recognizing the direction that it's going in. I'm not even in a game and Deca Hub is doing that. That's impressive to me that it just automatically works like that. The other thing is you can calibrate the magnetometer. Go ahead and pull that up here. And to calibrate the magnetometer, you're basically just rotating it in 180-degree sections. So moving forward and back, left and right, up and down. And the calibration is complete. You can save that. And again, automatically, it's selecting that rotation and working. So it's a simple concept, but it works really well. And the other thing that's awesome about this device is if I move to home here, you can see it already works with a ton of great SteamVR experiences. And I've tried it with a bunch of them. So No Man's Sky, Arizona Sunshine, all of these applications that have a green check mark have already been tested and are certified to use with this device. VR Chat, Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, Climby, Half-Life Alyx, Skyrim VR, Boneworks. Zero Caliber VR actually does work, but it doesn't have the check mark at the current time. Contractors. There's a ton of great games that are already working and fully functional with the hip-based positional tracking of this device. So when I went into a game the first time, I did play Half-Life Alyx first. A lot of people would play Half-Life Alyx first. And in doing so, the experience I had was actually kind of revolutionary. So if you take a circle and you rotate the entire way around that circle, that's a revolution. This is a revolutionary device because it allows you to complete revolutions. It does. I'm not lying when I say that. Alright, so we are outdoors right now, and we have to follow this drone. But as you can see, I'm leaning in that direction. I can look in that direction and move in this direction. That's because my position is in this direction. Now I've turned around, and again, same situation. And now, as you can see, I have my head and my hand facing in that direction, going backward now. And neither my head nor my hand are affecting my movement because it's all based on the arrow down there at the bottom of the screen, which is where my hip is positioned. So if I turn, I move. If I turn, I move. It's hard to do this, but I'm going to try staying lined up like this with my hip, and I'm going to turn here. It feels kind of trippy doing this, but you can see my hand, the direction I should be moving. And in fact, I'm going to put both hands here. And, oh, wait, it wants us to move this way, so I've now moved my hips. So imagine we were in a high-profile shooter or something of that nature. We could actually turn our head, have both hands out, like I was describing earlier, blam, blam, but move in this direction at the same time. It's really, really cool. How's it going there? So can something that you just fit into the palm of your hand actually make VR more immersive? I'm happy to say yes. With a DecaMove, which I'm going to turn yellow right now because I can, I have had a great time revisiting some of the VR games that have been in my library for quite some time. If you have the opportunity to pick up a DecaMove, these units are going to go on sale to the general public sometime soon. I believe the retail price is going to be around $69. Or if you're really enthusiastic for an upgraded headset, the Deca Gear 1 will actually ship with the little DecaMove unit as part of the package. At least the promised price for pre-orders was $449. Unfortunately, those pre-orders are no longer available. They had to shut down pre-orders due to demand. But it is shipping later this year, and the Deca Gear 1 is something that I am definitely looking forward to checking out as well. For now, though, is the DecaMove, this device right here, something that I would say is a must-buy? If you have a Steam library that is full of games that you want to move in a direction that your hand is not facing and your head is not facing, if I wanted to move forward right now, I would say absolutely yes. If you're into competitive shooters, or if you want to play Skyrim, even swinging a sword can be a challenge if you're using hand-based tracking, or hand-based directional tracking, rather. I have nothing but good things to say about this tiny little device. This is a prototype, though. Things can change over time, but I think they're only going to get better with these. So, absolutely something that I think is worth a $69 investment if those are the types of games that you play. If you're really just into casual games, though, might not be something you want to spend the $69 for. You may want to pick this up, though, as part of a Deca Gear 1 package when it comes out, because not only will the Deca Gear 1 have that hip directional tracking, but it will also have the capacitive sensing on the controllers, facial tracking, and eye tracking. Not to the extent that you can do fixed foveated rendering, but actually just whether or not your eyes are blinking or winking or things of that nature, which is going to be great for social features. I'm actually mostly excited about the Deca Gear 1 because of the things that you can do with it that you can integrate into social applications. 2020 with the pandemic really led me to using VR for social a lot more, and actually being able to see those facial reactions, actually being able to see your eyes widen in surprise or things of that nature is going to be a big deal to me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more content soon. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.